That is way too loud. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Debate Deathmatch, episode 9. Today, we are going to be having a very special type of debate because I myself am getting my hands dirty. Today, I'm going to be entering the ring with Turbo, and the debate that's going to be happening is USA, fuck yeah, versus fucking China. Dog shit ass commie bullshit. Okay? And as an extension, we will be talking about Taiwan at some point, but the main event is going to be USA versus China. We've got our 3 judges here. We've got Kay is a neutral judge. We've got Skade, who will be on the other side. And then we've got Panda. Okay, so those are our 3 judges. And me and Turbo will be going at it head-to-head in a 1v1 debate deathmatch. So I hope you all enjoy. I'm not going to be hosting today, okay? But I will try and pay attention to chat as much as I can. Obviously, if anybody sees anything in the chat, they can make me aware of it. And yeah, let's kick it off. We're going to open up with some opening statements from myself. And then we're going to give it over to Turbo. 1 second. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, that was a good idea, Maita. That was a good idea. Okay, let me just unmute the Turbo. Okay, right. So Turbo, I'm going to go first. And depending on how long I take, I can take anywhere from up to 10 minutes. And then you get to have the equal amount of time.
Which is the dumbest rule in the world, but go ahead.
Okay, so the timer starts. It's 1 minute, 1 o'clock, 5 minutes, and 20 seconds. So here we go. Right, so according to the debate that we're having today, it's USA versus China. Which country is better? And as an extension, should we continue to support Taiwan as a last resort? Now, if we're going to be going by metrics, obviously, as I'm going to need to share my screen, but for the audience here on the stream, I'm just going to open it up here because it's easier to visualize. And I'm going to show you guys what I've put together, and then you guys can... fuck, I didn't plan for this. Fuck. All right, that was a bad idea. All right, we're going to stop the counter for 2 seconds. Let me get it fucking sorted. Because I didn't know that. I didn't calculate. I usually host these things, remember? Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, so counter continues. 1 minute, 6, 1 hour, 6. Okay, so doesn't matter what metric you're going to be looking at. We can look at anything from fertility rates. We can look at things like corruption, percentage index. You've got China representing one of the worst countries in terms of corruption. Fertility rates, they're decreasing. They've reached 1 birth rate per woman, obviously with the 1-child policy. So I guess that's working out well for you guys. Corruption percentage index, on the other hand, for the USA, it's in the top 80% percentiles. If we're looking at average rating perceived with corruption in public sector, once again, no surprise, you're going to find no data. Wonder why? Because the idea is that these are coming from individuals from within the country. And obviously, given the data set has informed us that there's a limited amount of places that you can get data from, which just happens to be coincidentally most regions like Saudi Arabia, fucking Iran, Afghanistan, Iraq, whatever, and in Africa, and then China. No surprise there. If we look at a human rights index, we're also seeing the United States basically breaching the 1 radius, where the metric is from 0 to 1, while China is below the 0.2 line, and the global average, the world index is above 0.6. Just so. Countries that are democracies versus autocracies, for those that would have you believe that it's actually a democracy or that it respects people's freedoms or whatever. Absolutely not true. we can see it's more in line with something like Africa. In fact, once again, if we're going to look at the world average, we can see how it's much closer in comparison to North America. So once again, if you value democracy, then or people's rights and humanitarian rights and international laws and things like that, you're obviously going to be valuing North America or America, the USA. Human Development Index, we're also looking at, again, so the United States is, again, in the one radius at the top of the marker, alongside a lot of European countries, as well as Sweden, Finland, Norway, and Canada, and Australia, of course. But China, while it's not the worst of the worst, it is at the 0.8 marker. Again, these radiuses go up to from 0 to 1, 1 being the best and 0 being the worst. We can also go to government health expenditure, share of GDP, the amount spent by the government on healthcare. You can look at things like public spending on education. Everything is, the point is, by every metric, every data set that you're going to look at, the USA is exponentially better in every single way than China. So it's very difficult for me to comprehend that a country that literally 1 in every 5 individuals are going to die from air pollution can even be compared with something like the USA. It's mind-numbing to me, but okay, I guess we're having that debate. Greenhouse gas emissions. Guess what, guys? United States, fucking China is responsible for roughly 20% or, 30% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions. Brilliant. It's amazing. Now, my opponent here will then look at that and they'll be like, yeah, I know, but it's obviously because they're sacrificing that in order to bring more equalities to human beings. Wrong again, because government revenues as a share of GDP are basically in line with the United States. In other words, they're making just as much money, the government, as the United States in percentage wise. They're also spending as much. So if you're making as much and spending as much, but accomplishing sub-level type percentages in comparison, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Functioning government, again, these are just a bunch of other metrics. Every coal production, literally half of the world's fucking coal production is coming out of China, leading to things like fucking specific type of lead pollutions and shit like that. It's wild. And then to top it all off, it's like, yeah, we're doing it for socialism. We're doing it for communism. It's brilliant. It's going to bring the world a better future. Wrong again. It's unbelievable how you will stack L's when you want to side with China. Because guess what? The top 10 richest percentage in China is actually owns more wealth, in equivalent, the percentage of wealth distribution throughout the country than the United States. And we are so easily to criticize the United States when it comes to these things. And we're saying that there's the Gini coefficient, or things are not, there's a huge level of inequality within the United States. But China, the core representation of what socialism represents, somehow fucks shit up so badly. Oh, well, I mean, income share, and this is before taxes, this is after taxes. So actually, they're making more as a projection than the United States. So the top 10% own more of the wealth in China by comparison than the United States. So now, looking at all of these things, now I can go on and on and on. The point being made is that China basically fucking sucks. Now, my opponent, again, will have you believe that this is all for the betterment of humanity. The only problem is that there is a couple of other problems at hand. We've got fucking corruption at the core principle of what makes China, China. You've got a Chinese Communist Party, self-recognized as, and again, just to avoid any claims that are going to come my way later on, where it's like, you're just getting data from Wikipedia, because nobody ever likes Wikipedia. So guess what? I literally went to fucking Chinese government website, translated the shit out of it, went in, read their whole damn fucking constitution, picked it all apart just for my opponent. And I'll tell you what, I'll just give you a quick snapshot or a brief introduction into the fuckery that is going on into that country. First of all, you have no right to property. Land, sorry. You can't own land in China. Brilliant, right? You know that thing that amends you the rights to be able to, you can get a basic right of human need, which is like you have safety in your home. No, you don't have that. No, you're not allowed that in China. It's brilliant how that works. Natural resources. No, you have no right to that. It all belongs to the states. Oh, you don't believe me? This is literally pulled from their own fucking constitution. I'm not even reading you. I'm not even reading you the actual American. Okay.
I get your point of view.
Okay, so like I said, this is coming from their own. By the way, this is my introduction, so you're not going to interrupt me. This is coming from their own constitution. I'm not even reading you the Americanized version of it. The People's Republic of China is a socialist state under the People's Democratic Dictatorship. The organs through which the people exercise state power are the National People's Congress and the local People's Congress at various levels. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds like a republic. Wrong again. No, it's not a fucking republic, because the NPC, convenient, NPC, is literally owned or basically takes orders by the Chinese Communist Party. Oh, would you look at that representation? Brilliant. Lovely diversity right there. I can go on and on and on about the shittery that goes on in this goddamn country. At first I thought, you know what? I could be wrong about a lot of things when it comes to this country. In reality, though, it is an absolute fucking shithole, and I feel genuinely sorry for my opponent having to support their position. So I'm going to welcome any arguments from his side. I've already taken 7 minutes up until now. And one last thing, let's just hope that the data he's bringing to the table or the evidence that is going to back his claims are not as fucked up as the Chinese government's fucking claims when it comes to anything like economic fucking data, fucking fake shit, COVID-19 misinformation pumped out to the public, anything to do with Hong Kong riots. Let's just hope that his data is not going to be the equivalent of the Chinese Communist Party data, because if it is, you guys are about to get the gaslit the fuck out of you, okay? So I hope you enjoy the debate. Turbo, the floor is yours. You have 8 minutes. Go ahead.
You're killing me. You're killing me. Stop. Okay, are you going to be quiet now? Please promise me. God, there's so much stuff out there. Okay, first of all, the whole idea that China is like, I know you have this sort of warped like Westoid idea that China is a some sort of like place that has a whole shitload of like progressive sort of oppressed people in it, just wanting this regime to please disappear and go away, and so they can practice their progressive values, but it doesn't. China is a vastly socially conservative country. The people of China, like the consensus of their government is far like U.S. people in China, if they agree with their government, it's not just because they're oppressed that they're scared. They actually are. They manage 1.6 billion people. A country that manages 1.6 billion people and brings 800 million people like within a decade or so out of poverty, which is by far more than the United States has ever done for their population. You have just. I've actually been to China like very briefly. I was with the airport just myself, but don't take my word for it. You could look up. I'm not going to get into it and show you a bunch of pictures, but just the view and the experience you get from walking around China, clean streets, no crime. You can walk down the street and you don't get mugged. I could not say so much for the USA. They also have like you say that they're dog shit. You can't own land. in China, like you say, you can't own land, but you can use the land. You can have the land. It's basically like it's basically what's the difference between owning land and using the land and having like as if it's yours. If you are in America and you own land, as soon as you die, right? If you don't properly leave it to exactly who you want to, or you any kind of discretion, it goes right to the state again. Like it's really only you get you to use something until you die, and then you pass it on to others. There's only so much land that's there. If everybody owns land, they have a different system where people get to use land, people get to like farm and do these other things that they normally wouldn't be able to do here unless they had a bunch of money. And I'll tell you what, like how many people own land in the States? A lot of fucking people don't. And a lot of people are paying out the ass for it and are suffering for it right now. You got landlords owning like multiple lands, multiple properties, and charging people like disgusting wage, like all their wages and more, just to for rental of the rental units of the land or the place. And you cry about not being able to own natural resources. It's like, do you think maybe a good idea would be for that the country would be controlling the natural resources, and you would benefit from that as a citizen of that country? I mean, right now as it is, the United States uses up all its resources and everything else anyways. A couple people at the top, you want to call it free enterprise, it's really just a couple people at the top that own all of that stuff, and they own it outright, and they don't have to share it with the state. It's theirs. Like, I mean, it's not. They're taking the resources out of the ground that we walk on. This is all theirs. Their personal profit. China has that has to go to the people of China. So I mean, like these are setups that are not meant to be like a tyrannical oppression of the Chinese people. China is a planned economy. They are socialist, if not communist country with an outside market to deal with with trading and everything else that has to do with the capitalist outside. It's a one party communist party that has a democracy laced within it. So it actually functions like a democracy. It's much more complex than you were saying. It has like many forms of democracy within that party. And to I'm going to give this to you as I'm not going to show you a data sheet or a graph saying this, but I mean look for yourself. The people of China have a problem with Xi and his government. They're in trouble. Like they get what they want. The people generally agree with what their government's doing. I mean, this is how these people socially are. They're conservative. They're conservative people. They don't fuck around with crime. You don't go to China and do something horrendous like violent or whatever and get away with it. You get some serious consequences. And right now, I would argue that the socialist system that China is giving to its people, and and the resources that it's giving its people. By the way, you mentioned healthcare. Healthcare is free in China. By the way, it's absolutely horrendous. I don't think you live in the United States, by the way, so you don't no idea what you're talking about. But the United States is people pay the most for healthcare and they get the least for healthcare. And there is no safety net, and everything that is a safety net is tied to your job. And if you lose your job, you lose your healthcare. China has absolute healthcare. Like if you're in China, you get your healthcare. It's just that's by far grander system than. And you want to talk technology wise, they got tech. It's not like they have a bunch of garbage over there for you to go to some horrifying, shitty hospital where they're treating everybody like shit. It's just, this is American like sensationalism, just and bullshit. You can just look it up on the internet. Just look at the places in the cities and the public spaces and stuff in China. It's astronomically better than the United States. It's a joke actually. And the infrastructure and everything they do is better. They're going to surpass us. You know that the GDP and everything is online to pass the USA very soon. They're making friends all around the globe by helping and lending out countries like war-torn countries and countries that need to rebuild. They've been giving, such as Afghanistan and things that we've destroyed up to and failed to do anything about. They've paid loans and they forgive these loans sometimes. And they do these sort of they're basically it's the Chinese way. They're making friends around the world, not because they're just the greatest people, but because it's in China's interest. Right? I mean, it's not like they're going around being saints because they just want to be. It's obviously for a reason. But I think that the United States goes around and basically tries to get the same result out of tyrannical sort of coups and sort of psyops and other things like they're doing in Taiwan, like by trying to fuel a conflict. They got enough conflicts on the go right now. I think that Taiwan would just be over the top. But I mean, I believe that USA should stay the hell out of China or Taiwan. It has no business going there. Has no idea what the hell it's doing in the whole. Its only business in the whole matter is to gain for itself military-wise, conductor chip-wise, and all these kind of things. They have no interest in Taiwan, so don't even try to pretend that. Lastly, United, just in case for, because when you're gonna, I know you're gonna start arguing about this, but as of now, officially, China is recognized. Is recognized as one China. It's not. We do not recognize Taiwan as a country. It's for now as China, one China policy. We have an agreement with China. We call it that, exactly that. And so as of now, it is not part of China, or it is not. Sorry, it is part of China and not its own country. So I think that covers mostly what I wanted to cover. Go ahead.
Okay, so obviously there's a lot to unpack there, but in general, I'll just get started. Okay, first things first. The idea or the notion that the Chinese people are conservative and they want this is a misnomer, because they haven't ever been given the chance through the political system. Obviously, if you just do a quick search, like you're telling me, just do the research. Well, I came prepared and I presented the data, unlike my opponent here, who's provided absolutely fuck all on his hand. But okay, let's just put that to the side. And considering that we acknowledge,
you can't. How do you index corruption? You know what? If you want to index corruption, I believe your chart really can't really. We all know these corruption indexes are like, that's pretty much a joke. Like, that's just not, like, explain to us how you're indexing this corruption.
Okay, well, if we go to the website that actually provides us with that data, they can pretty easily illustrate it. Now, obviously,
more importantly, I want to know who does what group and what think tank is making this index.
Okay,
We should see if.
Okay, I don't.
That's just a big part of it. Because if you're going to come out with how corrupt somewhere is, I believe you should be showing your colors about where you come from, right? Who you're representing. I'm pretty sure that your index will have a very sus source at the top of it.
Okay. So is there any of the metrics that I pulled up that you would like to challenge? Just the corruption index? Is that the only one you care about? Because I've got a whole list of fucking things here. Yeah, you want to pull that one up? Usually the way, and I don't do it by think tanks. This is our world in data. These are data brokers that provide you with open, clean data in order to examine it.
Give me the group that made the index.
It's not a group. It's comprised of 3,500 experts from all around the world in order to remove biases from the equation and evaluate on different indicators whether or not a country would constitute being corrupt or not. But if you want the specific details, I have the chart in front of me. Here you go. I'll post it in the Discord, and everybody can take a look at it for themselves and evaluate for themselves. This is just one of them.
Even if you're pro-American, even if you're on your side in pro-American, I believe everybody probably agree that we're seeing like the most corruption ever, like we've ever seen in the United States right now. It's almost a joke.
Well, it's beautiful that you find out that people's perception of reality is actually quite fucked up when it comes to what the experts think. You see,
so people's perception of the reality has nothing to do with an index of corruption. So people's how they feel and how they think of their own government. So people don't have an ability. So what's the point of your index?
Okay, so again, when you say we see around the world, you're talking from an average person's perspective. You're not seeing it from an expert's perspective. You see, data doesn't lie. Data is mathematics, it's numbers. It doesn't have feelings and emotions like you do, and it's not going to try and twist things in regards to something that's positive for you to have.
You can take data, you can make data do a lot of things. So you can make data do all sorts of stuff. Don't act like data is the all-go-tell-all.
China knows a lot about that. As far as I'm concerned, and our world in data is concerned, and the World Bank, yes, we don't just manipulate data because we want to.
No, you can manipulate data as in, like, you could manipulate it as easy as you can.
Well, go ahead. I just posted it in the Discord. You can go and click on it. You haven't even looked at it, and you've already refuted it.
Data to tell, like, is the end of the road here. You could show us everybody a graph, and
but you haven't even looked at it yet, and you've already determined that it's bad.
Look, buddy. You don't. It doesn't matter how many graphs you show. The graph has to mean it still has to resonate with the people that you're showing it to.
You're the one challenging it.
Just as well as your words have to resonate. So if I tell you something and I try to convince you of something, the graph that you show me has to basically do the same sort of thing. You can just show me a graph and say this is this, this is that. But we all have to believe that the indicators on that graph are very convincing and not those are very hard things to do. At the end of the day, you still have to convince us with your with what you're saying. Do you think you are telling the truth, or do you think you're just sort of like this is not just data? Here you go, I win. It's not what it doesn't work like that. And just because I don't have a graph doesn't make me like unable to make a point. Like you still have to drive that home. Like your graph is your corruption indexes are just. Why do you think no one really uses them? They're just one. They're really biased, basically, for one thing, because nobody puts out a corruption index on a country how corrupt they are than the other countries that are talking about it. I mean, so no one puts their own corruption index out, and if they do, that's also biased. We're talking about something that's just strictly hilarious. Like this is just like you can believe those all you want, but I know many people that would not even care to look at those things. They're usually done by people with the interest of not making China or not making USA or not whoever they're talking about look very good. You're making a corruption index, for God's sakes. It's like saying like, let's look at this fun index. Where's the funnest country? Who is the fun? Like, this is a graph on who the funnest country. Like this is just all opinion, anyways, right? Like I don't know. Like your markers don't look very very intricate. They don't look like they're really getting to the grindstone here. Like this is just ridiculous. Let's move on here. Like let's get away from your index there. It's too much for me. We're going to use graphs on the corruption index. You're not really making it a good argument, compelling argument. If you have to use those. You say that the China is what totalitarian is. It's oppressive. It's awful to its people, and its people want it to basically would love the change if they were able to get it. Is that what you're trying to say? Like they don't support the government. Is the consensus is what you're saying? They generally don't have the same the support of their people. Is that what your claim?
Okay, so
Is it your claim? Is that your claim?
oh no, I don't have an interest in pivoting onto the next thing that doesn't require data. I want to go back to the part where I provided you with data and you just it made it irrelevant. Oh, you're gonna start talking again.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you. So the whole point of providing you with data, and it's not based on opinions, hence why we make decisions based on data, because it doesn't have...
Made the data. Who did it? Who put it out?
Well, I already gave you an explanation for that, but you already refuted it without even looking at the data itself. You see, the problem here is, Tabo, is that basically you didn't even look at the data. I already provided you with the logic that backs the data, and you yourself refuted it without even looking at it. Therefore, you don't even know what the data is based on.
Yeah, I saw them. It's not. You want to show a graph? We're going to spend the whole time looking at your graph because that's how far you have to look into it if you want to base this on a graph.
Well, that's how you understand whether a country is better or worse than another, unless you want to go off of opinions and feelings.
Okay. We're going to go off of like just general, basically like
general. You like general, do you? Well, we've got data here which is superior.
How you explain the countries is actually factually wrong. Like you didn't even like. The way you're painting it out is like, the GDP you talked about is that's.
I didn't even mention GDP.
You did. You mentioned GDP. Do you want to go back? You just said GDP, bud.
I didn't mention specifically, and I know I didn't because I'm saving it for later. But I mean, I guess you want to accuse me of doing something that I didn't do. But okay, I mentioned a bunch of statistics.
You said even GDP, but I'll get into that later. Exactly what you said.
Okay, but, well, specifically GDP. No, I don't think I would have GDP in there because if I did bring up GDP, it wouldn't look favorable to me. I did mention it was on the basis that China has faked its GDP. I didn't mention the numbers of GDP.
You're not able to prove that today. So
is this the part where I get to prove it? Okay, brilliant. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so fake economic data. So here's one article by the Financial Times where basically, and I'm going to shift over my screen for everybody to see. Obviously, you guys, I don't know how you're going to watch this, but it's the best I can do. But essentially what happened is they looked into the data, they tried to understand because multiple provinces in China themselves had come out in 2017, 2015, 2008, 2004 and had said how the numbers weren't accurate and didn't represent their actual numbers. And so skeptics from around the world got together and they tried to understand how we're going to understand this, because if we're relying on China's data that they're putting out to the world, and their own provinces are coming out and saying, well, our numbers aren't correct, well, how are we going to define this? So they went into the nitty gritty and they boiled down to look at, again, it's unbelievable what data will do for you when you want to look at it. But basically what they did is they compared the biggest provinces by metals and mining, by carbon emission, by...
You're using a US index, okay? That's my point.
What was that?
You're using a US index. Okay, that's my point. Okay?
So the US index is wrong?
I would suggest yes.
We're going off of numbers that were put out from China. We don't have other numbers.
No, do we have a Swedish index? Do we have a like? Let's not use a U.S. index. I'm pretty sure that's your first wrong.
This is based off of China's index.
Okay, now you're acting like you're all like, oh, I got graphs and I have things to show.
I know you don't like data because you have a whole bunch of feelings to compensate with, but that's not how this works.
And you're not in good faith.
The only amateur here is the guy who doesn't acknowledge data.
Excuse me. And you're showing us that you're just like throwing out a U.S. index and saying, yeah, this is good.
This is not a U.S. index.
That's not. I would never get a U.S. index about China.
This is not a U.S. index.
I'm sorry.
This is a Chinese index. We have no other... Wait a minute. Do you understand what you're saying? No, wait. You need to understand this. You're essentially saying that US people went to China, worked in China, figured out the numbers, and then came back and told us the numbers. No, it's much easier. China puts out...
This is US data.
This is Chinese data that they put out to the world.
Prove it's Chinese data now. Prove it.
What do you mean, prove it? They put out their own numbers themselves.
How are you going to prove it's Chinese data? How are you going to prove it's Chinese data?
Because they put it out themselves. Every country reports at the end of the year what the fuck's going on in their country.
What you're telling me is that you're handing me a bunch of China-based, China-resourced corruption index on itself.
What corruption index? We weren't just talking about corruption index. Why are you pivoting now? This is about the pressure. No, okay, you're pivoting. No, this is not what you need to be doing.
All your information, but like besides like a number that the GDP put out of China, but you're saying it's fudged.
Turbo, yes. Now we're talking about the GDP, not about the corruption. So yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is that your corruption index is a US index.
Why? Okay, you want to go to the corruption index, or you want to go to where they've butched their numbers in GDP?
The GDP information is China's information, sure, but it's also, you're saying that information is fudged, so it's not really what the numbers they give. Also, you're saying that your index for your corruption is not. We're not.
I haven't talked about the corruption index. We haven't even got to that one yet. Well, I tried to explain it to you, but you keep interrupting me. So we moved on already.
You haven't got that far. I want to get it right now.
You want to go to corruption index? Oh, which one do you want to go to?
Just your favorite one. Put your favorite one.
Well, you keep confusing them. Which one do you want to talk about? GDP or the corruption?
Favorite one. I'm talking about both. You're both your data.
Okay, which one are we going to start with?
Your GDP. Okay, look. Your GDP data is what you're saying is fudged. So it doesn't make a difference if it's Chinese data. It's not the Chinese data.
That's your claim. You're the one saying it's not Chinese data. You're saying it's coming from a US index.
No, your index for corruption is for the US-based data.
Stop confusing them. That's what I'm saying to you. You're confusing the two.
No,
okay, so here's okay, chill out, relax. You can take a breather. You can take a breather.
You're trying to confuse me. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to do that. You're telling me when to stop.
Shall I just let you talk, Turbo?
Yeah, just do it, I guess. But what I'm trying to tell you is that you're trying to make the confusion. I'm telling you that the index for the corruption index you have is US data, okay? And the GDP information you're talking about yes, it's Chinese data, but don't try to confuse people and say like, oh, this is from the China. The numbers are from China, but you're saying those numbers aren't real. So you're trying to say that those numbers are not legit. So both of those things are the opposite of kind of what you're saying, of what you're trying to sort of like portray here. You know what I'm saying?
No, I have no idea, and I'll explain why.
So
Because you're gonna start talking again. Okay, okay.
Okay, right. Okay, you're not going to get points for not talking. How about just say the proper?
Well, I mean, you keep interrupting me, and I don't really see how that's helping the conversation. So,
I'm going to say that the corruption index is from you.
if you let me explain, I will explain.
I'll let you explain.
Okay, so you're confusing two things. So there are two indexes that we are looking at. When we say indexes, I'm referring to different charts. Okay, so one of them is the butchering of the GDP, and I'm diving into the people that basically explained using China's numbers of how these things are inaccurate. That is one argument. The other argument is simply a chart that I pulled up at the start that shows the corruption index. So I'm asking you, Turbo, which one do you want to talk about? You're conflating these two things.
I believe I said both of them because they're both garbage.
So which one first, Turbo? Because this is not helping the conversation. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Both of your, I'm going to explain
I can't talk about two of them at the same time.
I'm going to explain to you, you understand. Okay. No, you can. You can do this.
I can't because they're different things.
No, I'm not talking about what's in your little. I'm not talking about right now, this very second. I'm not talking about what is in both. I'm talking about those two pieces of data, okay, are U.S. points of view. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And sources.
They're not.
They are.
Okay, do you want me to prove it to you?
You're saying that if they're not, if that is indeed true, then that would mean that China is giving itself a bad score on the corruption index, or a untrue number, and then called itself out on the GDP. So explain to me how that happened.
Okay, right. So I'm going to explain about the corruption index, considering that you're interested about this primarily.
Both.
Okay. Well, we need to talk about one, and then we will talk about the other. Right. Okay.
Getting into the nitty-gritty of it.
So
generally.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you how we process. All right, so this is just going to tell you about the data itself. It's not giving any other assumptions, but we have multiple charts to look at. So when it's telling you about the corruption index in general, I'm going to have to jump around because I have a bunch of different charts. Okay, so how common is corruption? What impact does it have? It's going to tell us evidence from surveys. Where is perceived corruption high? The non-governmental organization Transparency International estimates a corruption percentage index, which is arguably the most widely used index of corruption worldwide and shown in the map here. So if you're going to argue against, okay, I can't do that because I'm from Russia and I live here, so I don't have access to it. Okay, so it's explained to you. The indicator is representative of experts' opinions as it is constructed by taking the averages of various standardized expert surveys, including those from the Bertelsmann Foundation and the World Economic Forum, the World Bank, and many others. These are all very, very reputable sources when it comes to data. Now, why we shouldn't conflate it with this?
I'm asking you, did you say WEF? Is that what you said?
The World Bank, I believe it was. The World Economic Forum. Yes, all of these, yes. Yes, so these are multiple sources that are making sure that this information is as accurate.
I hope they're laughing at you right now. I hope they are. I really hope they're smart enough.
What's that?
I just hope the people are smart enough to really kind of like understand what you just said.
Right. So I now have a question for you, Turbo. Where is it that you are getting your data from in order to understand that they are actually not corrupt?
So basically, right? I'm not here to tell you on a graph how corrupt someone is.
Oh, so that means you don't have data.
I generally think that that's a really long, endless sort of study to do, I guess.
I know, right? Yeah.
And I don't think you'll do a job. I think this is a couple-hour debate or whatever, and you got to give everybody the reason why
I
you
should
think
come
something. You got to
unprepared.
convince them. No, I mean, like you brought a graph that is seriously it's just bad faith.
We don't
It's
like
just,
graphs. A bad faith graph with
I
data.
love graphs.
We should probably go off of
I love
emotions.
graphs. I love graphs if they're relevant and point out certain things that are just like cut and dry. But
We
this is
are
it's a corruption index. It's like saying it's a happy index. It's like saying the same thing. Like how many people are happy that it's like, you know what? Like, there's going to be a corruption index made by American, sources that
You
don't
keep
look good for
saying
China.
American. This comes from multiple countries, Turbo. I love that you want to misrepresent the data and the evidence because it's getting in your fifi. I'm sorry, but you just don't stop talking at this point.
This is why you're so silly, Bob, is because all I have to do is generally say, convince everybody that, these characters that you named out, FWF and all these people, are not going to give China a unfair check mark on the fucking on the corruption index.
All right, let me know when you're done.
Brian, the Twilight Zone. It's like, okay. So like you're just basically saying like, let's ask Joe what he thinks about his own car. That's all you're saying to me. It's like you can get a graph on what Joe thinks about his own car, how cool it is, but you could get a graph all day on it, but it doesn't make that graph any more legit. Okay, so like your source sucks. You don't have a good enough fucking a source for that data that's in your graph. Your graph is good as dog shit. So basically, tell me why they're so corrupt. What do they do that's so corrupt? Tell me. Just tell me. We don't want to care about your graph. Are you able to do that? Are you able to tell me why they're corrupt?
Oh, I can do
Why they treat their people like dogs? Why they're disgusting and they why they're so tyrannical?
Okay. In order to talk about that, we need to first just go through the data because you keep misrepresenting it. And I don't know why you keep doing it. I know why you keep doing it. It's because you're trying to devalue the worth of it. Okay, so here's how it goes. So when you talk, I can't talk, Turbo. So now I've started talking. So it probably means that you should actually give me a chance to respond, considering you were just talking. Okay, right. So the point being made here is you keep saying that this is US information. This is not USA information. This is our world in data. This is not an American national institution that belongs solely to America. This is a website that specializes in accumulating data sets from all over the world, from multiple experts, hundreds of thousands of experts, and putting it together and fitting it onto a chart so people like me and you and everybody else can look at it and understand, I think things in the world are going this way, but in reality, the data is suggesting that way. I should probably look more into it. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, and it's not just US. Oh, is this the part where you've drawn the limit? Okay, so now that we've gotten past the part where this is not just US biased information, now let's move on to the next claim that I made, which was the butchering of the GDP.
Oh my God. No, we're still stuck on the index, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you right now. You basically are, okay, first of all, you can compare this on your chart because I'm sure it's on your chart that you brought. Okay, I'm sure it is. China, okay, like you look at the economy compared to living standard, China's is high as fuck right now, man. And the USA, theirs is not, okay? You will see that. That is a huge indicator of life in China and life in the United States, how horrifying it is, right? And I tell you, the United States loses that comparison. It's probably in your chart. You know what?
What are we talking about now?
America has legalized.
Where is your data for that? Where is your data set? You're talking about data now.
Do you see a lobby in China? Do they have a lobby? They don't have to deal with a lobby. They don't have to deal with this shit because they don't have.
That's a bad thing.
No, it's not. Lobbyists are not good, boss. Lobbyists are not a good thing.
Okay, right. So, okay, I'll let you finish.
You are talking to a communist. But another thing is that the WEF is not. You're telling me that the WEF and the World Bank are legit fucking sources for telling you the corruption of China, the corruption index of China. Your crap is garbage. It's got to go. It can't be.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with the chart. You just don't like data. I love it because it disagrees with your narrative. But we can move on. We can move on. We can move on. It's okay. I think I've made my point very clear.
It's bad faith, dude. You're taking it from
There's nothing. Our world in data, bro.
Do you believe the WEF? Like, would you say that organization is like reputable?
Okay,
you?
who do
Would
you
you?
believe when it comes to your data?
Do you think the WEF is a good source?
Yes, who do you believe?
Do you think the
I already
WEF is a good
answered.
source?
I already answered you.
Do you like Carl Schwab? You like him?
I
Good guy?
like Charles Schwab personally. I've never thought of that.
Charles Schwab?
I
Charles
like
Schwab,
you
by the
asked
way.
me if I like the World Economic Forum,
Yeah.
and I think they're a
You know that-
reputable source. I said yes.
Why do you think they're a reputable source?
Because
Why do you think they're not?
they gather experts from all over the world in order to erase biases because they want clean data. Clean data is very valuable. That data is the number one asset of the world today.
I almost want to do a whole debate on how you're silly about this. Like we could get into like
I already
the World
said to
Economic
you we
Forum.
can move on.
The
You
only
just
insanity
keep
of the
going on it.
World Economic Forum. We could just go on a tangent about the World Economic Forum by itself being like
But
out of
that's
this
not
world.
the
Like,
debate. So, I mean, you can do
but,
it
like,
if you
if you
want, but
bring-
you're distracting from the main focus of the debate. So I don't know why you do that.
I want you to understand your graph is useless.
I know you want me to, but the only problem is that it's gathered from hundreds of thousands of experts from all over the world to erase biases, and they do things the right way, and you want me just to rule it out without even looking at it. Bro, okay, you're not gonna.
And that you're like, I brought graphs and Turbo didn't.
You haven't brought anything to the table. That's the point. You have no evidence to support your claims.
You brought actually zero. You brought negative fucking one, negative two to this because you brought actual
data, information.
Corrupt data. Sorry.
But, okay, do you want to move on because you're out of your mind? Yeah. Do you want to move on?
Dude, I'm not out of my mind. You're bringing like data collected by the WEF.
I know you don't like data.
It's
okay, bro. It's okay. I've asked you again where you're getting your data in order to come to the conclusion that actually China is better than the USA, and you haven't answered yet. So the answer is you don't have data. Means you're making decisions based off your opinions.
Let me give you a good verbal argument on why I think China is what I'm saying. You're supposed to give me a good argument too. Let's not get carried away on this garbage.
Well, you keep like trying to say that it's bullshit, so I have to defend my position. So yeah, let's move on.
Stuff that was shit. You brought actually a bad faith, stupid
data.
Thing. It's almost ruined the debate.
It's data, bro.
It's data, but I can bring you data out of my ass too.
Well, you didn't. You didn't. Because there is none.
This judge should out of
literally every metric is in favor of America.
Should this data be submissive to who it came from? Should this be an unbiased data? Is this data unbiased?
You haven't even looked at it yet. You've already ruled it out. That's the point here.
You just told me who put it out.
I mean, judges, I'm going to bring you in. I've already suggested to him we move on. You guys tell him whatever you want. Like, I've already suggested to him. I can't force him to. You're all unmuted. I don't know. You guys want to moderate this? Do whatever the fuck you want. But he's not moving on. Right. So, I've suggested to you already. Do you want to move on or not? You're not going to rule them out without even looking at the fucking data. You haven't...
Fine, we'll move on. But my whole take on this is that the graph is useless. Sorry. Don't bring me silly shit like that.
There's nothing wrong with the data, but okay. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So the idea that we're basically supposed to just believe that the Chinese are just, they're following the institution, they're following the government because that's what they ultimately want to do and it's in their own favor to. Well, me, you are having this debate. We live in the West. We appreciate different values than the rest of the world. And we are the ones evaluating which country is worse or better. Now, I don't know about you and I can't speak for you, but when it comes to me, I do value property rights. I do value owning land. I do value the idea that if I buy land and anything I find on that land is going to be mine and I can be taxed at most on it. And guess what? One day the government can't just roll in and take over the property because that's in the Constitution as well, if you want me to bring that out as well. Yeah?
There's many instances that they can do that. But anyways.
Brilliant. So do you not acknowledge that to be a bad thing? Do you think that's a good thing?
It's just a thing. It's just a way to do things, and that's fine.
But do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, personally, you want to know what my personal opinion is? My personal opinion is that let's say if I could use a plot of land, let's say for farming, let's say, that's what I want to do with it. as opposed to the States and to China. Like there's 2 farms, one in China, one in the States. I get this way with China, and I get it this way with the United States. Meaning with the United States, I get to own it, however we do it in the United States, and in China, we get to do it this way, right? So the fact is that in the United States, yes, I could, if I had enough money to buy that land, I can buy it. I can own it. It's mine. All these things. In China, I can get given that land and just sort of like use it and run it. I get the same chances as anybody else has to get that land, and I get to use it the same as the guy that owns the land.
Wait,
okay? It's just a different way of doing things.
Given the
Now,
land?
hold on. It's just a different way of doing things, okay? And land ownership, I know that you want to have your little land and you want to know it's yours and you want to stomp on it and say, this is mine, right? No matter how anybody else is doing. But I do care about how like everybody's doing compared to like what I can claim as mine. I want to live in a society where everybody isn't walking around like zombie apocalypse fucking and we just don't do anything about it. Right? This is a fucking general concept of people like you that think like ownership. That's all I give a fuck. Can I own land? It's like, dude, most people in the United States are never going to own land and never going to even fucking dream of owning land because it's fucking rocked out, price gouged right the fuck up, and only is going to be available to the fucking people that like, or the Bill Gates that are buying it up by the shitload. So you're not doing yourself any favors by getting your little, I got my rights. It's like, dude, you're not going to even be able to use them. So it doesn't count for most people in the United States. What you're talking about.
All right. So it does count because here's how it goes. The most basic of basic human rights. When we say human rights, it's not just a fucking buzzword. We're talking about what human beings need. And considering we value what human beings need in order to give those things, in order to achieve productivity, in order to make progress throughout society. And as a result, we amend those rights and those needs to those human beings to achieve those goals. And as a result, if you believe in the world and you like progress and you like people getting less hungry, making more money, becoming more safe, having more clothes. I'm still talking. I didn't interrupt you. I let you talk, and you're interrupting me again. Brilliant.
Socialism. You're actually talking about socialism. Socialism raises up it gets people out of poverty. I'm sorry, that's what it's made to do. Okay, and by the way, the United States. What you're talking about, these freedoms and all this stuff, is basically what is 5 million people being booted out of their homes after a bubble burst in the United States. 5 million Americans lose their retirement and get kicked out of homes, and nobody gets bailed out except for the banks. That's what we're talking about. That kind of disparity. China doesn't do that. They have no fucking business doing that. They're pulling everybody out of poverty. It's a large 800 million people, double the size of the United States, has been pulled out of poverty completely. Okay, so this is not what the United States is doing. They're doing the opposite. They're driving people into the ground, making costs unmanageable, and basically all they have to do is tell you that, but it's free because you can do this if you want to. But you know what? You can't. The resources are not there. This socialism is not to destroy people. It's to fucking lift people up. That's why it's socialism. That's why you're taking the resources and centralizing them. That's why you're doing these things. So one guy doesn't get to take them all. It's just a simple thing. Go ahead.
I mean, I am looking at your favorite thing in the world. It's called a chart. And so here's how what the data says. So the labor share of gross domestic product, in other words, GDP, China, in other words, is giving 50% of the total GDP back to the laborers in socialism, the pinnacle of socialism. Meanwhile, America gives 60%. See how that works? Fucking moron. Yeah? Okay. So, yeah, fucking bad. Okay, brilliant. That's how it works. 60% goes back to the workers in America. In China, socialism. Brilliant. Oh, la, 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 oh, la. Yeah, 50%. So, wrong again.
So
data is beautiful.
What happens is their economy, they put the money back into
judges, I can't. It's just too many lies.
They don't have healthcare. You don't understand that, right? Americans pay taxes and they get basically nothing. They got to pay for everything extra, or it's attached to their job, or they're paying out the ass for everything. Don't tell me that the GDP goes back to the workers like it's some sort of socialist place. We know that America's not socialist. They don't even claim to be socialist. They do not do such a thing. Do not fucking tell me that your twisted graph is fucking telling me that the United States puts all their money back into the workers. Get the fuck out of here, dude. We don't clearly by being American, I'll tell you that's not true. Okay, I'm sorry. Fucking seriously. Like explain please explain what you're saying. It's hilarious.
I don't need to. I have data to back up my claims. You don't. You see how that works? It's beautiful when you have data. So again, with the fucking... No, you were talking. Let me talk now. Wait, you said healthcare. The US spends No, sorry, mate, but you were yapping. 16% of the GDP of America goes into the healthcare. And in China, 2.5% goes to healthcare.
You piece of shit.
So
They spend it out of their pockets, you piece of shit. You piece of shit. They sell it out of their pockets.
I don't know what you're saying, bro. You just keep screaming while I've literally just gotten a chance to talk, and you're already shouting over me again. Right, okay.
They
So
pay most in the world, dude, and they get the least service. And you're telling me that China doesn't have their money going, like, oh my God, dude, your
they
claims are
spend
ridiculous.
2.5% of the GDP on healthcare. In America, 16% of the GDP goes to healthcare. Which one do you think has more benefits when it comes to healthcare? 1 in every 5 people dies of air pollution in China. What the hell are you talking about?
China's cost of living on average is 45% lower than the USA, okay?
We're talking about percentages. We're talking about percentages.
Your dumb fucking graph is jet set it to your fucking do not fucking understand.
You don't like data, but it's data, bro. It's data.
I'm gonna submit a graph right now. I'm gonna submit a graph, and you're gonna take that graph and you're gonna fucking take it.
Is it from a reputable source?
Where's yours from?
It's from our world in data. It's from the World Economic. These are the best fucking sources of information.
Are you gonna agree with me that China's fucking cost of living is 45% lower than the United States?
I didn't disagree with you, but the metric I gave you is in percentages. It's not in nominal. It's not nominal. In other words,
it's living is 45% less in China. Do you understand that?
What? You already said that, but I'm giving you percentages. Percent. You know what percentages are?
By the way, anybody listening, if I were to rent in China, is 60% lower than it is in the United States. 60% lower. We're dealing with 2 different kinds of economies.
They also have 3 times the amount of people.
I'll tell you one thing I can tell you right now, boss, about what your graph doesn't tell you, is that when you're China and you're Chinese and you go to the fucking doctor, you go to the fucking get your health.
This person?
It's done for you. It's done for you. It's done for you. So what are you gonna say to that? It's not in the United States. I'll tell you right now, it's the most despair thing they have. And you're trying to take
what are you talking about? You're just ranting.
Hold on a second. You're trying to make an argument with your dumb graph that America is taking care of when it comes to healthcare, and they put more.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say it's taken care of. I said to you they spend 16% of the GDP on healthcare. China spends 2.5%.
Cover anybody up, boss. That's a waste of money if you think about it. Because in China, you get for less.
It's not a waste of money. It's not
How does that work?
It's not a waste of money because if you look at.
Are you
you don't let me talk. You keep yapping.
Are they not covered?
You don't let me talk. Can you stop talking? Can I talk? Can you ask me questions? You don't let me answer. Okay,
you're trying to be a snake, dude.
I'm not being a snake. I'm the one using data. You have brought nothing. You have no reason to have the. Okay, no, bro.
It's the worst part.
It's
disingenuous piece of shit.
Bro, every company in the world, every government bases their decisions off of data, not personal opinions.
This is how we take your data and we throw it in the garbage. You know why? Because what you've done is that most of us are all Americans here, okay? We know what the healthcare system's like in the United States. We know what
I didn't say America is taken care of. Why are you misrepresenting my position? My position was that...
Hold on.
But you keep lying about me. That's not my position.
You're saying China is on healthcare. That may be true.
Wait, you're cutting off. You're cutting off. You're cutting off. No, my position is that the US, if we're looking at which government is taking better care of their people, you would look at the country that is spending.
What do they get? What do they get for it? What do they get for it? We don't even know what you're talking about.
Wait, just let me talk. You don't stop talking, Turbo. You don't stop, bro. Your mouth doesn't stop moving. Stop talking. You asked me a question. Let me answer. The whole point of it is wait, shut the fuck up. They keep spending more. They keep spending more.
Where do you be on?
Have you stopped talking? Can I talk now? Stop interrupting me. You're not 7 years old. So they're spending more money on healthcare. Now, alone, that means nothing. But when you look at the metric of how much money is going back into the pockets of the people, you understand why they're spending that money. Because if you also look at a previous graph of the amount of money that's coming out of pocket of individuals, and I can show you a specific graph for that one, because I have another one, another data set for that one, where essentially people were getting more money taken out of their pockets previously, and now they're spending less money out of pocket. That's why the government spends more money. The argument is that USA cares about their people, which is why they spend more on healthcare. China is supposed to be the socialist, the communist, the one that gets everything right. Meanwhile, they're spending 2.5% of GDP on there, and they're 1 in every 5 people are dying of air pollution. They are the biggest fucking exporter of fucking coal, the creator of coal. They're creating 30%. No, they're creating 30% of the CO2 emission. No, you're not interrupting me. No, sorry, mate. I'm talking. 30% of the CO2 emissions in the world, they don't give a fuck about their people as the end point. Their actions say otherwise.
I agree with you on that. I do believe that they don't really put an emphasis on pollution.
Well,
you're
they
right,
don't care about their people.
I would suggest you be quiet now because it's my turn.
Okay.
So you're right off. You're off the chart here. You're yelling. I feel actually threatened. I feel upset, and you're gonna hurt me. The thing is that you see, boss, whatever you want to call me. I don't feel comfortable calling you that, actually. The problem with your whole thing is that China, okay, they don't spend the same kind of money on their healthcare system because they don't have middlemen to pay and a bunch of fucking racketeers. And their healthcare works like a centralized system. It works for the people. It's there for them to use. It's not about, you want to look at the quality, then you're going to have a big issue, because you look at the United States, we all know that we have to pay out the ass for nothing. Okay, and in China, you're covered, man. That's it. You're covered. Don't worry about how much they're spending on it, because this is how much it costs in China. China has everything down to like a science when it comes to buying things in bulk, because they're buying it for one centralized system. Do you understand that? They don't have to worry about little separate middlemen and yes, you're right. The United States does blow money on things like that. They're getting a lot. They're spending a lot of money on nothing. They're getting ripped off, in other words, dude. I'm sorry. That's the truth. And that's what happens when you have socialism. That's why it's more effective for things like that.
It's not, though.
Besides that, I just sent a little thing there, a cost of living thing, 100,000 person study on the cost of living in China. And I don't know if you want to look at it or not, but it's fucking 100,000 person study. Okay, and it's like a fucking legit study on the cost of living in China, how lower it is, and how much more of a better fucking of a ratio that you get from when you're in China and than when you're in the USA. When you're in the USA, by the way, this is anecdotal because it's just my opinion, but I'm sure you'll just to let you know, just so you don't have to say it. But we pay in the United States, goddamn everybody. We're not covered for anything. It's the lobbyists and the fucking middlemen that basically ruin America and make everything that much harder. It's not a fucking. It's not a system for the people. Your argument that it's almost laughable. Your argument that the government of the United States gives back to the worker so much money out of the I see it going to Ukraine and a bunch of other places, but I don't see it going to anybody. Sorry, I see a lot of people losing their houses and losing their shit and walking around like zombies. It's not like China. China doesn't have that problem. China doesn't have a fucking zombie apocalypse. Sorry. That you could say that no graph's gonna fucking. I could say that opinion and people can take that what they want to, but it doesn't mean dog shit just because it's what I say. I don't need a graph to tell you that, right? I mean, by the way, your graphs suck. I mean, they just think.
Right, you're wrong again, motherfucker. Now I'm talking. Right, okay. So you're wrong. You're just wrong. You're just wrong. You're wrong. Wrong again. No, you don't get to talk. I'm talking now, motherfucker. Okay, so here's the maths. Here's how maths works, okay? So when your government, all right, spends the same amount as my government, but your people, 1 in every 5, are dying from fucking pollution and shit that you can solve. No, I'm talking, right? That you can solve with spending money on healthcare, but you choose not to do that, but instead spend it somewhere else, you give fucking no shits about them. And here's where it comes in all full circle back to again, because again, you're going to blame it about the wealthy Americans and they're just stealing everything, the middlemen. Guess what, my guy? Here's the fact of the matter, that the top 10% of rich people in China and in the United States own the same amount of wealth. So this narrative that it's all going back to the people, it's socialism, we're giving everybody equal rights and equal things. Shut the fuck up, I'm talking. Why do you keep interrupting me? Shut the fuck up. No, I'm talking. You yap and don't shut the fuck up. And the labor share, no, you don't get to interrupt me. Labor share, 50% goes back of the GDP goes back to the laborers. Meanwhile, in the United States, capitalism, corruption, horrible conditions, 61% goes back to labor force. Explain that, motherfucker.
A lot of people in the United States with like never being able to pay their fucking bills for their fucking hospitalization. You have a woman who gives birth in the United States, it costs her $10,000. You know that, right? There's nothing like this in China, dude. These are crippling things that happen to people in the States, and it's just the reality of it that you don't seem to understand with your graphs. All right? You don't seem to get that. You don't understand it. You just look at a graph and go, they spend the same money. Guess what? America loves to inflate things and fucking say they spend this and give people this, and our unemployment rate's at 4.5% when it's really 26. Like, dude, there's a lot of things that America does that you don't understand, obviously. But another thing I want to laugh at you about is that you don't. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to be so rude, but you just don't understand what communism is really. I mean, you're allowed to have a business in communism. You're allowed to flirt. It's not just like everybody gets it's no money system and everybody just gets given like rations of fucking rice and fucking toilet paper. That's not how it works. It's an environment where you can excel and you can like like small business exists, buddy. Like it's not like an anti-communist thing. You understand that, right? It's like there's forms of communism and everywhere are all different. Just the social economic fucking structure does not not allow you to make money and prosper and to do these things. They're not anti-communist to do well in a business or to these are not like anti-communist ideas, okay? Like, so just you don't really know what you're talking about when it comes to that. I realize that. I'm sorry. I don't mean to make fun of you for it, but it's just true. And I mean, the matter of fact, it's even more embarrassing is that you really don't really know what it's like in the United States either, because I see that you don't. But I mean, your graphs make you believe you do, but you just don't. You really don't.
Okay, so I'm looking up the chart where essentially your end conclusion, here we go. So poverty, share of population living on less than $10 a day or the equivalent. And as a result, I'm going to open it up and then I'm going to put into the chart, China, USA, considering that the idea is that somehow you're going to be, and is this data is adjusted for inflation. Brilliant. So the idea or the argument that somehow these people are going to be like the dollar is more appreciative. No, wrong again. 47.6% living on less than $10 a day. Meanwhile, in the United States, you've got 2%. Brilliant. Thank you. So wrong again. The idea that Chinese people are better off living in China is oblivious. This is mental gymnastics.
What's the whole homeless situation over in China? How many homeless people are there?
Well, if you're homeless but have less than fucking more than $10 in your pocket, you're probably spending it on crack cocaine at that point. So there's a bigger problem there.
Not really any crack cocaine in fucking, I don't know if you know that, but not really.
Drugs. The point is, you are not by choice on this. You're fucking spending your money on things anyway. The point is, the more people with more money. Yeah.
Even if I give you that,
you should give me it. It's data. You're not giving me anything. That's the fact. That's fact. Fact. That's fact. You understand? Different opinion with fact.
$10 a day. Shut up. Stop boasting about your terrible presentation.
This is facts. You don't understand how facts work.
What I'm going to do, boss, I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to say, let's pretend that's true. Here you go. I'm going to give you that. I'm going to say, yeah, you're right, boss. This is how many people are living on $10 a day, and they're going to probably improve that. But anyways, besides that, guess what those people got? They got a baseline to live off of. They have a place to live, and they have they have food to eat, and they have fucking all these things that come along with being poor, and the $10 a day, which I'm sure I assure you that I think isn't like the greatest amount of money. But if I'm going to give you that $10 a day thing and say, yeah, okay, fine, you can say that. But guess what? These people aren't dying on the streets or fucking starving. I'm telling you right now, in the United States, that's what they do. They fucking die on the side of the road.
They're just dying of air pollution.
It's a big difference. Okay, it is pollution. There's a lot of pollution there. You're right.
It's one in every five, Turbo. One in every five, brother.
United States. What are you going to tell me about this? United States gained from pollution. They polluted the shit out of everything. They gained the biggest economy by polluting everything. And now you're going to turn around to India and to China and say, oh, you guys can't do that now because it's pollution. It's a tough road. Maybe you should go over there and help them do it.
It's literally like 30% of the fucking global contribution to fucking CO2 emissions. What do you want me to do? They don't fucking No, they don't fucking put solar generators. They don't put wind farms. They don't opt for nuclear energy. They want to go coal and they want to go oil. And that's what they want to do. You're not India. You're not Pakistan. You don't get to do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, because why? Because you think
because you have alternatives. You have alternatives. No, it's not about fucking up the earth because America did it in the past. You have solar. You have wind. You have nuclear. You have other alternatives.
So cute that you're from the United States. That you feel like you're from the United States now, and you're bossing like them. You're walking around with their swag. You're like, watch out, we're the fucking United States. Like, dude.
You're just ad homing now. You're just ad homing. You're dismissing my arguments based on the fact that I'm not American. What the fuck are you doing? Shut the fuck up. Move on. Get to your point.
I'm actually laughing because it's true. It's the utter truth. No matter
what
if I can argue it or not.
I'm bringing data, facts. You're basing it off your emotions and your feelings. There's no logic here. You have no reason to believe the things you do. Nothing. Every argument that you have given me, I have dismissed it with evidence, with data, with a justification. You have nothing. You are empty. You are empty. You need.
I debate with you based on graphs.
You need air. You need to breathe, brother. You need to breathe.
No, dude, you're not breathing. You're yelling and screaming like a lunatic.
I'm not.
I'm straight now. I can't even yell. No, you are. You're crazy.
You're driving me mental, bro. Like, you have nothing. Why do you believe the things you do? Why?
Dude, you
makes no sense.
Why do I believe them? Okay, let's pretend that you're like, let's pretend in graph and let's believe in debate land, you've won all of the things because there's no way I can.
I don't care about that. Why do you have the opinions that you have?
Let's say this. The funny thing to me is that I know what's going on.
You know nothing. You know nothing. Why do you know? Why? Did you go to China and like get data from there?
You brought a WF. Yeah, look at the thing I just gave you. Okay, you're gonna be like, that's nothing. That's just 100,000 person fucking blah blah. You know what? I don't think it's that much. I just submitted it. But that's all you've done is you've gone a little bit of surfing on the net.
What's surfing on the net? This is not surfing on the net. This is data analytics. My mind is going to explode. What is wrong with humanity? What is wrong with humanity? I'm losing my mind.
You don't have anything, my friend. You have nothing. You actually have a fucking fact that you brought a bad face piece of shit to the goddamn argument.
You have opinions. You have opinions. That's it. There's no reason to believe you.
A graph of opinions is what you brought.
Okay.
Good for you.
All right. Let's move on. Okay, let's move on. All right. So, Turbo, my real problem with China is the government. So, putting everything to the... No, I'm not joking. I'm not putting anything to the side. There's data on everything that I've said. But apart from that, the government...
You just said that to me, that you don't like their eye shape. What the fuck is this?
What?
Why would you just write... You're trying to throw me off or something? Why would you say that?
Say what?
You crazy? This text that you just sent me, you just said you don't like their eyes? That's what you just said? What the fuck is this from? Is it from you? What the fuck is this? Oh, it's not. Okay, that's just a rando. Okay, never mind. Some rando sent me a picture.
I'm racist. Anyways. There we go. Ad homs. Pay attention, judges. He's accusing me of fucking being racist. Note it down, motherfuckers. Write it down. Right. Very weird of you, boss. I know. It's very weird. Jesus. Wild. Right. Okay. Fuck off. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. So,
I can. Hey,
So-
if you're going to tell us anything, you're
yes,
I'm not gonna blame it on you,
CCP,
okay?
Chinese Communist Party, bad because they are controlled by the NPC. And the NPC doesn't get any jurisdiction over, here we go, guess what? The CCP. See how that works?
I find it. Yeah, no, I don't rhyme and I don't play video games either. I don't tend to rhyme when I speak either. So I don't know what you're really trying to say. You're just trying to say NPC. What? Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Non-character player? Is that what it stands for? Is that what you're trying to say?
What are you
I don't play
talking
video games. To
about?
be honest with you.
Who even
I don't
talked
play
about
video
video games? We're having a debate here. National People's Congress. You're supposed to be representing China.
I know that. I'm making a joke at you. I'm
Would
just
you
saying
know?
that
You know?
you're-
No, shut the fuck up. You had no idea. You had no idea. This is who I'm debating. He doesn't even know China. Where are you from? Where are you from? Who sent you, motherfucker? Who sent you? Tell me now. Who sent you? Who sent you?
You just said it has
It's the
no
FSB.
bearing.
Who sent you, motherfucker?
What you just said?
Piece
The
of
FSB?
shit. Yeah, who sent you?
FSB?
You're a fucking spy. There's no way. This is bullshit.
Are you seriously saying? Are you yapping out shit like that? You think I'm a spy? Because
You don't even know who the NPC is.
Dude, I'm fully aware of it. I have it right here on my fucking sheet right here.
You
dude.
have no
I have
idea
all
who
the-
they are.
You did it right at the beginning, and I laughed about the NPC thing, and you made a fucking comment about it too. You're like, "Oh, that's fitting, right?" You know that I know what the only two. Listen, you're fucking. First of all, what are you saying about the CP? The CCP? What are you trying to say about the NPC, the PPC? What was the point?
BBC, did I hear? Oh, Freudian slip. Freudian slip, chat. Freudian slip. Right there. We all know what's on his mind. Okay, yes. The NPC. The NPC. The National People's Congress. In other words,
We know that. Yeah, we got it.
yes. No, you don't got it. The CCP controls the NPC, but the NPC then has jurisdiction over the CCP, but they don't because the majority fucking party in it is the CCP, and
You know why that is? Do you know why that is?
the people don't ever get a choice to change their ways. They don't get a say in anything. Do you see a problem with that? America's
I know what you're
beautiful.
talking about. By the way, I know very well who the NPC is. I'll prove that to you. Okay, like for one thing, I know what you're looking up. I know what you're reading. Okay, and how you're looking at this from, by the way, your Westoid, like sort of like
Never
one-dimensional.
even seen the Chinese government official website. Guaranteed. Never read their constitution.
I do know exactly what this is, dude. I read a lot about China.
Never even read the constitution.
What you're looking at even. I know exactly what you're looking at even. I know exactly what you're saying. And by the way, what you're suggesting is that China see everything like your Cyclops little point of view, and that it should be set up in your way, or it's not fair. And by the way, within that system,
No, you misrepresented my position. My position is you're saying.
You know, shut up for a minute. They have democracy within those two systems. You do understand that, right? They're intertwined. There's super a complex web of democracy that happens within those two parties. What you're saying is that this is not fair for people in China. They don't have the right. They don't have the ability to fucking say anything what they want to do. No, dude, this is the way they do it. This is the way we do it over here. You're just suggesting that because they don't do it the way we do it, that it's wrong. It's actually quite effective. It gets way more done than we do over here. They don't have to fucking sit there and like vote on every goddamn thing and fucking like and gerrymander around it and cause corruption in order to get by. You know, the other team play these strategy games. They can just get to it. And as long as they're doing good faith about their people for their people, they can fucking get it done. And it's actually way more effective. And our leaders will even tell you why that's the fact that they can surpass us is because they don't have those fucking obstacles. They don't have the bureaucracy to slow them down. You do understand that, right? So this is just another system that you're complaining about because it doesn't do things the way you do it.
Okay, so tell me, democratic centralism is the organizational principle of communist states and of most communist parties to reach, here we go, lovely democracy. You're going to get a good taste of democracy, boys and girls. Dictatorship of the proletariat.
That's not a bad word. You know that, right? That's the reason why they said that word.
Well, don't say democracy.
Can you believe the boss just founding like he just found like the golden goose here? It's like what? Do you think they misused the fucking
You're
word?
saying it's a democracy. There's no part of this that is fucking democratic.
I'm saying democracy happens within the fucking facet of the Communist Party.
At the
There's
local
many
level? At the fucking provincial level?
and all sorts of levels, and all sorts of levels for all sorts of different
No,
things.
it doesn't, because guess what? The CCP controls that as well.
All sorts of different fucking committees and different.
You have no idea how this works. You have no idea how this works.
I do.
Literally read it. Just, I'll send you this article right now. I'm posting it in fucking Twitter. Take 5 minutes and go and read it. You have no idea what you're saying. You have no idea what you're talking about. Right, go and read it. There you go. Just click on the article. Go and read it. Just educate yourself. Educate yourself.
Before I phone the Russian consulate. Before I phone the Russian consulate and tell them to fucking where to find you, fucking shut the fuck up, dude.
Whoa. Don't threaten me. Don't threaten me.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I'm joking. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're telling me that I don't know about something that I fucking very much know about. I know exactly what you're talking about. And look at you. You're so cute. You find out you have this like big like, look what they said. They said dictatorship. They're guilty. It's like, no, dude. They fully say that for a reason. It's just how they think. This is what they think is correct. It's what I think is correct. I don't disagree with it. This is not like dictatorship. Doesn't mean like, oh, they're gonna kill us. They're trying to get like us. It's not what it means.
Yes, it does. They get to decide. You don't understand how dictatorships work. You have no say in the matter. That's the problem.
You do.
That's the problem. No, you don't. Dictatorship means they dictate. You don't know what words mean, motherfucker. What do you mean exactly?
It's how they want to rule. It's how they want to do their system. I agree with you know what? I agree with that system.
Why? What is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you, bro.
Dude, I would want to. My idea of suggesting
you just want to die. You're just. I don't know what's wrong with you.
It actually has a dictatorship in it. Yes, I do. I like dictatorship qualities.
Why? Why do you want a dictatorship? What is wrong with you?
You think that's no? It's not. This is not outlandish. I know it's hard for you to understand this.
You are an alien at this point. What are you doing in Canada? Get the fuck out of there. Go to the Middle East or China or some shit.
Why should I get the fuck out of there? They run their system a certain way.
Because it's bad. You like dictatorship. What are you doing?
There's a big price to pay for fucking G if he
Let me get into the United States. You see, I keep on telling people this. I need to live in the United States, okay? I am more American than most of you motherfuckers.
No, shut up, dude. You think you are, but you're not. You're actually quite. You missed the fucking bus, bud. I'll tell you right now.
No idea. I'm about to jump the fucking border. I swear to God, I am going to jump that border. I'm going to seek asylum.
You should come here and I'll pay for your fucking 6 months rent.
Fucking dictatorship, bro. You want a dictatorship? What is wrong with you?
Dictatorship is taking care of their people, isn't it? You fucking retard.
No, they don't. I literally showed you all the data that says the opposite.
And the democracy in the United States is ripping its own people off, you fucking
What about 50% of the GDP going to the labor force in China, but 60% to the United States? What part of that is taking care of their people?
Yeah, they are fucking taking care of their people. We are not. How?
Because 50% goes to the labor force. More is going to America. And they're supposed to be the corrupt bastards. Do you not understand the problem there?
Show me where America's getting money back. Show me where they're not spending fucking $800 billion a year on
They
fucking
run
defense.
a deficit.
Show me where no one gets healthcare, no one gets a fucking safety net except for food stamps.
They spend too much. They import the most. They export the most. They contribute more humanitarian rights, more development to the rest of the world.
Why does China have the best rail systems? Why does China have the best airports? Why does China have
rail systems? That's what you're going to give me? Rail systems? That's it?
Yes.
I'm literally talking 1 in every 5. You need less rails. Less rails is what you need. You guys need to start fucking walking.
You don't get anything living in the United States. What you call freedom
you
is just fucking
pumping too much shit into the people's lives and you're killing everybody.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yes, they are. 1 in every 5 dies of air pollution.
You're giving them fucking immense.
It's literally
amount of
like, hey guys, we're having a nice family dinner. There's 5 of us sitting here. One of us is going to fucking die from pollution.
No, because that doesn't exist in the United States, buddy. There's no family.
Who's it going to be? Draw the fucking short straw right now. You're about to die.
No, you the United States, you have dinner with your dad or your mom separately, and then you also have maybe dinner with your dad and your dad, or your fucking other shit that you do, and you fucking don't know one has any money, and maybe all your fucking cousins are like,
Maybe it's your sister. How do you know?
This is how everybody works.
Why are you misgendering her?
All money for medical bills. They all fucking know. They all fucking owe the government. No one gets a fucking leg up. Everybody's a wounded veteran. Everybody's fucking sucking, dude. It's a fucking. Dude, I dare you. Come here. Come here and fucking stay.
Bro, I just showed you the data. You're out of your mind. You believe you live in La La Land. There are unicorns more real than you.
No good here, my friend. It's a World Economic
There
Forum
are
data
unicorns
report.
that have more sense than you.
Let's go to the judges. Let's go to the judges and see what they have to say. Because you know what? A WEF report speaks for itself. If they think that you've decided to give the right data, they're fucked up too. I'm sorry.
It's data. It's facts. It's not opinion.
Yeah, wait, guys,
I already asked you. Okay, right. I'll ask you otherwise. I'll let you calm down, and then I'll ask you.
I've got a data card. It's Bazooka Joe's, guys. I got it in a Cracker Jack box. I'm going to submit it.
It's from fucking reputable sources. World Economic Forum, the World Bank. Our world in data. Data. Do you know what data is? Yes, it is. Because they're not getting it from a single source. They get it from experts from all over the world. Do you not know how? I've already explained this to you, including in China.
Okay, let's go to the judges. We're going to see if they fucking think the WEF is the fucking right kind of data to bring to a fucking Chinese.
We haven't even talked about everything. You want to call it there?
And what do you want to talk about, man?
Well, I have a ton more to talk about.
You have more data.
No, well, you don't like data. Why not? But okay, fine.
Why did you only bring that much? Why did you only bring that much?
I don't care. Take it wherever you want. You want to call in the judges? We'll call in the judges.
No. Let's do one more thing.
Brilliant. Okay, so back to the fucking CCP.
Taiwan.
And their fucking corrupt. Oh, Taiwan? You want to go to Taiwan?
You run the CCP because that's how they work, and that's agreed upon how they work. I agree with you, and it's actually quite effective, by the way, because you can tell by the fucking results and by their GDP and by everything in their country right now that it's better than the United States.
They
fucking work. Sorry.
Butcher their GDP. They butcher it. They have their own fucking provinces saying that they butcher it.
The United States lies about the unemployment rate, idiot. It's maybe 20%.
What do you mean they're lying? You have no evidence for that.
I do.
Where?
That's actually, and by the way, oh my God. Oh my God. I have to pull this shit up. This is all over the place, by the way. You should know this. And if you're being bad faith, just save me a fucking headache.
No,
please.
I'm not aware of the data that suggests that America is lying about their unemployment rate.
Including certain aspects of the demographic.
Where did you see it? On fucking Twitter? Is that where you're getting your reliable data from?
Oh, this is very well known. Actually, there's so much data on this. It's ridiculous. Oh my God! Like,
when did this happen?
Is actually well known. What? It's happened since the 80s, dude. It's quite well known. And actually, I think actually I'm quite confident that most people actually, even like remotely listening, will tell you that's true. I mean, ask your chat. They'll probably tell you that's true. It's a well-known fact.
Most of chat hates USA anyway. Like I said, I'm the most fucking American person here, and I'm not even American.
The one thing you miss about being American, the one thing you don't have is that you don't have a nice head of hair. First of all, second of all, you don't fucking Americans have nice head of hair. They have good hair, okay? And they have like
ad homs again. What are you fucking pointing at my hair? What's wrong with my hair? Just because you have bad hair doesn't mean you have bad arguments. That's not how it works.
Okay, miss you admit that you have bad hair, then that's fine. You can win that one.
Yeah, I win everyone. You lost. You lose everything. You suck. You suck at this. I'm so disappointed.
You suck at this. You know why? Because you brought a graph from the WEF.
I brought graphs. Like data. Data. Do you know how data works?
It's like, boss, you came over to my house to play today, and you brought the Barbie gun? Really? You brought the fucking Barbie gun here? Like, I don't want your sister's gun. What the fuck?
Yeah, you want to just play Barbie with all your fifis and your emotions. That's what you want to do. Bro, why do you believe the things you do? Like when you think China good.
I know them.
Why? When you say I know for a fact, why?
I know that China's doing a good fucking service for its people.
Why? Why do you know that? Why?
I don't agree everything about China. I don't agree that on lots of things that China
Yeah, but
does.
why do you believe
so
that? Where have you read this? Where have you found
everything.
this out? Did you
They're
go there? What?
They're using their people up out of fucking poverty, and they're making friends around the world when we're not.
Bro, there's more than 1 billion people there. For you to make that claim, it means you've observed that to be the case. Have you observed that to be the case? A bit more, billions of people.
Of things. Yes, it's absolutely quite.
You saw billions of people get lifted out of poverty.
800 million people to be exact.
There's more than a.
1.16, 800 million people within a 10-year period and still counting. Do you understand? Like,
where did you see this happen? Where did you get this from? Is my question.
Oh my God. Kidding me? This is like, so basically you don't know anything. That's a problem.
Yeah, but you question my data and I'm not allowed to question yours? You don't even bring any.
The facts are is that even people that disagree with me on this subject, they don't disagree on this truth, and we get past it, right? Because we go along with the fact that we all know this is the case. Me having to pull this data up is what the fuck, dude? You don't know what you're talking about. There's no way you read about China and didn't understand that this is the case.
So you just literally admitted that he has no reason to believe this. You don't even have data. Where are you getting this from?
Oh, did you think that I haven't read heaps of it saying this? Do you think there's
was it on TikTok, Twitter? On a porn site? Where the fuck did you read this shit?
When I argue with someone about China,
were you jacking off? And it was like literally like popped up as an ad, and you're like,
argue with the retard like PPG.
What the fuck is going on here? This is whack.
You need to be able to understand that this is the truth, and we get by this in 1 second, and we don't argue about it because it's fucking. We all know this, but with you play fucking pretend and go back and get this fucking data out. Everybody knows it's the fucking truth.
Data.
Goddamn arguing with the baby, dude.
It's data.
It's an arguing with the fucking baby.
It's data from the World Bank, the World Economic Forum.
I'll get the data for you right now.
No, just tell me where you get your data from about China. I'm curious.
Right now. It's literally everywhere, dude. This is fucking goddamn, like, it's like I can put my hand in, close my eyes, and grab it. This is common sense.
You keep saying it. I've been looking at data all day. Nothing came up.
You're telling me to bring data to this fucking conversation that tells us that the earth is round is what you're doing.
I know more people die of fentanyl in the United States. That's not a good thing for the USA. That sucks, guys. You probably shouldn't be doing fent. But, I mean, apart from that, it's like, okay. What?
Bath fucking time. It's bath time. Dude, it's fucking goddamn, like, this is like a child. I gotta bring up, like, the worst of the fucking most, like,
do you have schizophrenia? Do you have schizophrenia? No, who am I talking to? Which one am I talking to, Tabo or Jarko? Which one?
With the ugly haircut. Let me tell you something. Take some points off.
Is it Tabo or is it Jarko? Which one is it?
No, listen. Dude, shut the fuck up. You're asking me to bring data to the fucking argument that tells you the world.
It's a debate! It's a debate! You bring data to a debate!
You have to understand.
It's the most sophisticated level of information. What is wrong with you, child? You are a spawn of Satan.
Right now, I'm gonna grab it right now. It's gonna cost us our fucking livelihood. It's gonna cost us our time. It's gonna cost us our energy. I'm gonna grab it for you. I'm gonna grab it for you right now.
World.
And then
I'm literally going to start reading the Bible. I will go and find the Bible. I'm about to exercise the shit out of you.
I'm not going to bring up a China consensus form that was fucking handed out by the CCP, saying that the U.S. fucking goddamn economy is shit. Like, dude, I'm sorry. I would never do that. That is dumb. That's what you've done here.
If it's there, then it would prove your point to be true. It's not, though, so you can't find it, so you don't look for it, because you don't want to look for it.
No, I'm doing it right now. I'm getting it for you, dude. It's very simple.
What? The one metric? You're going to dismiss everything I said because some dumbass fucking butchered the fucking unemployment rate. China has not reported their unemployment rate for the last 10 years. 10 years they haven't reported their unemployment rate. We can't hear you. Keep cutting off. You broke your mic. That's how much you're screaming, Turbo. We literally can't even hear you anymore. You broke your mic. You fucking broke your mic. You broke your mic, bro. That's how much you're screaming. Oh my god. What a shit show. Bro, I sat here and did fucking Actually, no. I'll go out for a cigarette because the more I keep talking, then it's not going to be favorable for him. Yeah. I'll just shut up. Wait for him to get back. No, fuck you, TB. What do you mean, fuck you? Why fuck you? What have I done? I didn't break his mic. He broke it. Did he crash or something? I hope not. Like, fucking knock on wood, bro. I don't want that shit. Something happened, though. I'm cackling. Everybody's having a good... Bro, you fuckers will feel real bad. Look. Oh, shit. I thought it was him who left. Holy fuck. That would be wild. 2 out of 3 judges have voted to call the match. Yo, I lost. Wait, seriously? All right, well, he left anyway. Jesus. All right. Give him 5 or 10 minutes, guys, just to give him the ruling. If 2 or 3, it needs to be all 3 judges need to vote. 2 out of 3, all 3 judges need to reach 0 in order to disqualify somebody. So even if you guys did disqualify either me or him, yeah, you can't. You're not even in here, Captain. Unserver mute me. You're not,
dumbass.
You're not even in here. Three out of 3 to just give 10 more minutes to each of you to end your arguments and then call the match. Okay. Well, let's see. He might not get back. Let's just give him 5-10 minutes. I'll be spying on you guys from the window. I need a cigarette. Holy shit, what a shit show.
Attention, Helldivers. Please direct your attention to the nearest monitor for this mandatory broadcast incoming from Super Earth.
What's up to all the new guys in chat? How you all doing? Hope you're all well.
exciting.
Where is he? Has he not come back yet? Skade and
Nah.
Trash Panda aren't here. Where are they then? What's up, Moss? How you doing?
That was fucking exciting.
Was it? Did you enjoy the match? Did you? Right, you're all unmuted. Okay. All right, awesome. But we need to get the judges' score. They are in the judge chat. Who's in the judge chat? Wait, what's going on? Wait, what are you guys doing over here? Oh, no, there is no judge chat. Wait, has he come back or not yet?
He's not here.
He's not here yet. Do you have contact
I
with
think he
him?
ran out of battery.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I don't want to give the totals until he gets here, but I don't want to keep you guys waiting, so I don't know. Give him another 5 minutes. Hopefully he can get his shit done. Yeah, what you all up to?
It's so funny imagining him just like still in his car screaming. Because dude was just in his car the entire time.
He was,
the
wasn't
funniest
he? Yeah,
shit.
yeah, he was.
Imagine
Gripping
pulling
it
up
right
to
now.
him next to him on like a Walmart parking lot
Yeah.
and just seeing this dude fucking screaming. That would be so funny.
Yeah, he's a good
I'm
guy. He's got a character.
I'm putting my money on aneurysm.
And
He's a
aneurysm.
live one, that's all.
I'm putting my mind on. Boom. That's what I say, skull fucker. Holy shit, that was wild. Honestly, didn't see this coming. Turbo has never acted this crazy. Yeah, he has. Plenty
Yeah,
of
he has. I
times.
trigger
Yeah,
all the
plenty of times. But I don't take it. It is what logically this should, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll give him another 5 minutes. Hopefully, like if he's in the car, he can get his battery running up again. If he gets home, if he doesn't come in 5 minutes, then we'll let the judges give us the score. Holy shit. But I really did enjoy doing the research. Like I learned a whole lot. Like originally going into like starting to do the research about it, I was like kind of worried. Obviously not in correlation to the judge's score. So whatever the judge's score is, like I'll embrace it. But like going into it, I thought, you know, like I might have the wrong idea about China. I might be seeing things like very differently. Like maybe they do really have potential. I haven't really dug deep into them, but then the more I dug, the more worried I got. So, can you come in 5
China has a lot of
minutes?
potential, but it's just
Yes, it
government's the
does.
issue.
Yeah.
yeah.
You are a sensitive man. I'd be more impressed if I couldn't. Can you?
And he was right about lifting the most people out of poverty in the last, I forget how many years it was, but
Oh, I didn't deny that. I'm just saying that.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
But that doesn't really mean anything because they've literally done it off the backs of developed countries, like with PACs and stuff. So I mean, it's it's good, but I mean,
Yeah, that
like,
was.
they had a lot of help doing it.
That
so.
wasn't my. The debate is about USA versus China. Which one's better? And obviously, if one is bringing. Oh, here it is. Okay, good.
Oh,
Okay, you're back.
What a retard!
Are you fucking alive? Are you?
Yelling at you, my phone's dying, dude, and you kept talking
What do
over
you
me.
want me
I'm
to
trying tell you
do? You don't stop yelling. Oh, he's
phone's
gonna
dying.
go
That's why you wouldn't let
again.
me. Fuck.
Okay, you're right
My
now.
phone's dying.
Oh,
China. Holy fuck.
okay, judges. We're gonna bring you in now. Yeah, the judges. We've been waiting. Like, yeah, so the judges are gonna give us their score. Judges, right? The way you're gonna do it is you're gonna look at your scorecard. Whoever has the most points. What is it?
Hold on, whoa.
What?
Fucking, you're not the fucking moderator. You're not the fucking. Shut up.
Yes,
You're
I
not the moderator
am.
here. Ask someone else. So you're gonna fucking secretly fucking
Yes,
tell the
but
judge
now
what to
the
do.
debate is over. So nothing.
Influence you have over them when you're talking to them. I want you off the fucking. I want someone else to do this.
I need to explain the way they're going to give us the score. Remember, I'm streaming this.
Listen, Mr. Tuberculosis, I want you to fucking not do this so that you don't have Mr. Influence on the leadership on the.
There is no
mic.
influence.
So
I'm just giving them instructions of how to relay the scores. Can I do this? Can you let me do this? Yes, but then he needs to message them, and then they need to message him, and it's just going to include a lot of complexity. Judges, you're going to look at your scorecard. Whoever Fuck. Okay, you even made me forget. Right, so judges, remember we talked about the bonus points. So at this point, for fuck's sake, you have la fita. Right,
what have you been doing?
I want judges to go ahead and add the bonus points. So whoever you feel represented their overall position in this entire debate the best, you're going to give them 2 points, okay? Whether that's to Turbo or to me, go ahead and add 2 points. That's all you're going to do. And then once you've added that up, you're then going to see whoever has the most points. When I ask you to give me your score, you're just going to give me the name of Turbo or me, okay? That's all you need to do. So I'm going to ask you, who won? You say Turbo or me.
So me?
All right?
Who's me? If they say themselves, they win themselves? What do they say me? What do you mean? They say Turbo or Boss, right?
Why would I refer to myself in the third person? Do I look like a fucking weirdo to you?
You call yourself the boss already. I mean, I don't know. That's too far off, is it? Fuck.
That's
Guy
my
calls himself the
name.
boss
I
already.
am the boss, yes.
I don't even talk about himself in third person. That would be out of this world.
That's my Elias online, bro. I am the boss. Right, okay. So, have we got any judges who are ready?
Yep.
Okay, Skade, who won? Was it me? So if it yeah, just give me the name.
Turbo.
Turbo won. Brilliant. Okay. Anake, I sent mine in chat. I in favor of TB. Okay, so that's 1-1.
TB Turbo.
That's 1-1. Brilliant. Okay, and finally, Panda. Go ahead and give us your who won, Panda.
It all comes down to this.
Yes.
The boss.
Yo, let's go. Fucking W in the bag, bitch. Eat shit. You motherfucker. Take the L. Suck on my fucking balls. You fucking inbred. Fuck you. Get wanked. Eat some shit. Go and pray to your fucking overlords. Fuck you. Easy. This was the easiest W in the life. I literally read for like 6 hours. Fuck you.
You actually are a fascist fucking little
6
fucking punk that loves us
hours.
fucking around.
6 hours of research is all it took, you dumbass, to
You want to
dismantle
suck American dick?
years of fucking
start with
biases.
You can start with sucking my dick. You can start with sucking my dick. You can come over and suck my American dick, okay?
You're
Go ahead.
already sucking my dick. I'm literally fucking edging. Piece of
You're not
shit.
legend, dude. You got two people that you go for judges. The two people that you fucking talk to every day judged you.
dumbass.
And they fucking said, yeah, you
Eat
won.
shit.
Come
Fuck
on.
you.
Dude, trust me. Panda fucking is like your buddy. And the other person I don't even know. I don't even
Panda
know
is a replacement. I initially chose Game Boy. Panda filled in. And so thank you, judges. Okay, shut up now. And now I need to talk to the judges. I need to thank everybody.
A week buttering fucking Game Boy up and fucking everything. If he was in there, I would have won, you motherfucker. You understand?
You never win. You always lose. You suck. You're a loser. Loser.
Mail in ballots.
Loser. Okay, shut up. No, seriously now. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Turbo. Thank you all for
You would
participating.
have done a better job.
If I was in here, you would have lost, Turbo. Shut your mouth.
Dude, I didn't even have to fucking.
I'm having a good old fucking time right now. Eat shit, motherfucker. Right, okay, no, seriously.
Hey,
Thank you
Gamer Boy,
guys for
Gamer Boy, good
participating.
job, buddy.
Thank you, Skade.
Good
Thank you,
job. That's
Kay.
really
Thank
fucking
you,
good.
Panda. And thank you, Turbo.
We're gonna all discuss on how you were wrong and how I should have done
Yeah,
better.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I do have a debate with Bimmy. I do have a debate with Bimmy in like, I don't know how long.
What's the
Wait,
debate
Bimmy,
on-
when
what's
is
the
our
debate
debate?
about?
In
What's the
like
debate-
7
What's
hours?
the debate about? What's the debate about with Vinny?
Well, Bimmy's here now. I'm pretty
What's the
sure.
debate about?
I'm pretty sure it has to do with. I'm pretty
Is it
sure
in America?
it has to do with America. Yeah, the two-party system.
Homos in America?
Huh?
Is it to do with like homogenous fucking?
No, it has to
activity
do
in
with
America?
China one fucking state. Yeah, that's the one it has to do with. Two-party system in
Then
China. -1.
What?
We only get one.
There isn't two parties. It's actually
Yeah,
one. You know that, right?
exactly.
It's actually just one.
Exactly. So
No,
why are
it's
you
one.
asking me
No one ever
where,
said it wasn't.
motherfucker? Why are you asking me
No one
where?
ever said it wasn't.
Two
It is a
wins.
fucking single one as well. The United States is a single one as well. You know that, right? It's a uniparty.
I'm debating
Same thing.
Blicky at 1 a.m. I don't know who Blicky is, but I'm debating Bimmy in 7 hours from now, and I need to get some
Everything you
sleep.
say is wrong.
You suck.
Debate is over, my guy.
Exactly. Tell him,
It's
Moss.
done.
Take the double. Take
We're
the L.
done.
Take the
My
L.
guy.
Can
My
we
guy?
all chill?
Never call me my guy, you disgusting woman, whoever you are.
Yeah, my guy. Just eat shit, my guy.
Chill.
Yeah, you killed him. Thank you, lesbian. Thank you, guys. Holy shit, a lot of support from the chat. For once, you acknowledge me, you fucking infidels. Holy moly, fucking degenerates finally become enlightened of my superior intellectual ability. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, thank you for the support, guys. Turbo made it easy. I'm not going to lie. He made it real easy. This motherfucker don't know shit. Yeah, go ahead, Pam.